microphone, but you got to get closer to the microphone to be in the frame.
I can't right now, man.
Are we still doing a podcast? Yeah. MMA is still a fucking thing. Like, according to the judges, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Hello, everybody. Welcome to In the Guard, your one-stop shop for, I used to think MMA, but I don't know what the fuck to call it no more. Boxing, judges, the mistakes. That's what we should call it. It's not MMA anymore. It's just judges' mistakes. That's what we're going to call the show from now on. Anything else that's going on in the fight world, I am Mike, here with...
I am Tony.
And we're coming off the heels of UFC Fight Night, Vegas 22, Holland versus Brunson. First thoughts from the card.
So let's open up.
Let's open up.
Come on.
Wait. Let's open up with Tony's fucking shirt. Hold on. What is going on?
What are those?
What is that? Like you look like a bisexual drug dealer.
This is what I was going for. So this is actually 100% authentic Malaysian batik. It's the most
You sure it's
comfortable
not
thing
Persian?
you'll ever wear. Might be a little bit of that.
Buddy.
We do know it's Gucci though. It is Gucci.
Oh man. Okay.
So Mike, come on, tell us how you really feel.
Well, we're going to get to some shit that I'm going to get off my chest about these MMA judges. And I'm pretty sure you all know what fight I'm talking about, because if you don't, you know what the fuck you're talking about, because it was the biggest robbery in MMA history. But we got some other fights to get to first. We'll start with the main event. Went to decision as well, and it was the Trailblazer fighter of 2020, Kevin Holland, versus Derek Brunson, you know, the gatekeeper who keeps the key in his back pocket and does not like to open that gate up.
It was the late night show with Kevin Holland. Constant John, you know, fun to listen to, but it's like, man, come on. You got to fucking, you know, like, I'm not mad at him. You know, if that's who you are and that's what it takes for you to get comfortable in the situation you're in, who am I to judge you? I'm not stepping in that octagon. But it's like, hey, man, you have all the talent to beat Brunson. Like, there were spots you could have beat Brunson. And you just, I don't know.
I think they're overplaying it because it was the standout, even though he lost the fight. It was the standout moment of the whole fight, and that kind of talks more about Derek Brunson than him. But, I mean, that's how he wins his fights. Before the fucking fight happened, ESPN put the whole thing on, all his favorite clips and stuff he was saying throughout the Contender Series before he was getting attention. That's just what he does. That's how he fights, win, lose. He was getting pounded by Thiago Santos, you know, back a while back, and he was doing the same thing. It's just what he does. It's not like I'm doing this for the cameras. I'm doing this because I'm in the main event. This is how he talks. He would tell Santos, "Why are you hitting me so hard? Why are you hitting me so hard?" That's how he does. It keeps him in his flow state. He lost his fight to a good fighter. He had his moments, almost knocked him out in the second round. But you lose to a top 10 fighter in the UFC who's fought the best of the best, who's been in there with guys like Anderson Silva and, you know, again, name anybody at middleweight. He's been there. He's been in a fight with them. So, like, that's what happens. Sometimes you lose.
Well, it kind of played out how I figured it would play out. I think Brunson would use his experience, his wrestling to pretty much control the fight.
Right, and I loved Brunson as a dog. That's why I spring a little coin on it. I even told Tony before the fight started, I was like, you know, I picked Holland, but I think Brunson's going to win this fucking fight. I feel like Brunson's going to win. Yeah. He has just way more size. He looks so much bigger, like thicker than Holland than he did, and I know that's going to come into play because he's going to try to lay on him. He's going to try to do that.
Yeah, I mean, and Kevin Holland, you know, being the 2020 Fighter of the Year, I had that feeling that we're going to figure out why he just has not been able to. And
he has. I mean, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, which I could see that, but I don't think his MMA jiu-jitsu is that good. That's what we kind of learned today. His MMA jiu-jitsu was it was enough to neutralize Brunson.
I think he had great self-defense jiu-jitsu to neueutralize the threat.
Brunson couldn't put damage on him on the bottom. He was able to, you know, keep him down. He wore out Brunson. Brunson was tired.
Cheyenne buys. Go back and watch this fight.
But, yeah, for sure. But again, he lost a tough fight to a good competitor, and I mean, again, I think they're saying too much about his talking. That's just because it stole the show, in my opinion. That's what if you look at it, like, Brunson clearly won the fight, but he's, you know, 30 extra strikes. It was like what in 5 rounds is what extra 6 a round. Yeah, like it's not like he's totally the grappling was the story of the fight, and he needs to do better at not letting guys like Brunson get inside on him. And that's what you got to do. It's not about not talking; just don't let that guy get inside. But
also, I mean, the talking is more apparent, right? Because there's no crowd,
right?
So you can hear pretty much everything.
Well, the thing where I kind of draw the line, I mean, it's not who am I to draw a fucking line, but like when he's talking to Khabib instead of his coaches in between rounds, that's kind of like, wait, what are we doing here? You know, that's kind of a step in line, disrespecting your coaches. But I mean, that's what he does. But again, I don't think his talking is why he lost the fight. He just got beat up that day.
Yeah,
he got
he
beat.
was
I mean, beat up. He
outclassed.
got beat that day, and he said he's going to take Brunson down, who's never been taken down in a fight. He ended up doing it. He took Brunson down.
He let us know for 30 seconds in that top position.
Yeah, and he said, "I did it. It's a win for me."
Yeah.
So he's enjoying himself. You know, so many people are in there, you know, ornery, angry, pissed off, mad. He enjoys fighting, enjoys the sport, loves it. Maybe he never wins a title. He even said that. He goes, "I'd rather have fun every time I fight and not win a title than win a title and be miserable," which I kind of get that. And I think in the long run, that attitude is going to pay off for him. He's going to be Kevin Holland way longer than he's going to be an MMA fighter. So that personality that's going to put him on TV, internet, whatever shows, you know, put him in front and center. He's going to get more from doing that than shutting up. He definitely is.
For sure.
Well, what's next for Derek?
They don't want to give Derek top 5 fighter.
Give him Paulo Costa. He called him
I know
out.
he called him out.
I like it.
But Dana does not like him. You get this. Dana. He's basically like the new John Fitch.
Yeah.
Like he wins. He just beats people because he's not that entertaining. I would love to see Paulo Costa, but I don't know if Costa's ever going to fight again.
He's hung over.
I think his Izzy broke his mind.
Yeah.
Like I think he's been some people that won destroys them. They get that one loss and they're never the same again. He's probably beaten everybody's ass. Always been the biggest, strongest bully on the block. And when he got knocked out and clowned, I think that just crushed him mentally, and he can't come back from that. So we'll see.
Maybe. Well, let's move on to this.
Wait, we gotta say the Kevin Holland's next fight.
Yeah.
The one fight that needs to happen, and if you don't agree with this, you just don't like to have fun, is Michelle Pereira. That's going to be the most entertaining. There's going to be backflips, and you know he's going to compliment his flips and dances.
Oh,
and stuff. Like the conversations back and
It's
forth.
going to be like gymnastics judging.
And there's going to be some strikes thrown down, too, because they both throw some crazy-ass knees and overhands and all kinds of stuff.
It's literally going to be a song and dance, so why
I
not
would
make
love
it
to
fucking
see
happen?
it.
One of them singing, one of them's dancing.
And I don't think Holland's done either with a title consideration, but take a little step back, a guy like Pereira, and then see where you go from there.
All right.
All right. So our updated co-main event due to Gillespie and
Not really
Riddell
much to talk. It was a quick one.
being canceled due to COVID. We got the assassin Song Kanan and Max
He got
Payne
assassinated.
Griffin. And yeah, Max Payne Griffin fucking didn't get an ear.
Yeah,
but he smoked him.
It was interesting too because it seemed like Song Kanan was starting to get his rhythm a little bit, landing, and then Payne just came right up the middle with that fucking jab and rocked him. And I questioned Song's chin after that. It wasn't the harder shots that took him down.
No,
it was just a direct. I mean, it was
a
clean.
nice straight right.
It was clean for sure. And to go from the control that he kind of had to like just being iced in one. So yeah, man, Max looked good his last 2 fights. Again, he took an ear from Rahim. I can't pronounce that name.
Brahimiha, something like that.
Who's a big prospect coming in. Everybody wanted him for. Same thing for Song Kanan. Was supposed to be a top guy coming out. And Max is, who do you call out? Jeff Neal?
Yeah, they want to do it in Houston.
I'm all for
Jeff
that
Neal's
fight.
from Houston.
Jeff Neal needs a fight. I think it'll be a fun one. Hands going wild in that one. Not gonna be,
Hands of Steel versus Payne. Let's do it.
Let's do that. Song Kanan,
I don't know.
Back to the drawing board, right?
Yeah.
These are 2 big 170ers.
Yeah, Song Kanan was bigger than Griffin, too.
They're 2 big ones.
All right, let's get into this this fucking shit show. We got
man.
Conejo
Montserrat.
Montserrat Ruiz versus Cheyenne Baez.
I love that they totally like just hold on to her nickname like it's a real fucking name. Like they throw it in. That's why when we were doing our DraftKings things, he said, "Who the fuck is Conejo?"
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is this? And I was like looking for like when I laid my bets and shit, like Ruiz. Like I don't. But yeah, there's really only one thing to say: Scarfo, right? Kesagatami, that's it.
Scarfold Kesagatami for fucking 9 minutes of the fight.
I'm surprised that she landed that many strikes. I guess they're called those pound strikes, I guess. But
yeah, she was pepping her with the little shots. Like, hey, I got you, bitch. You ain't going nowhere. Just,
But then after
a frustrating fight, but dude, I mean, like,
it was entertaining from ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Like not from a fight standpoint or oh, look at that technique. The fact that it just kept, oh, here it comes again. Here it goes again.
When
That
she
headlock
wanted
takeover.
She got it.
Oh, every single time. Like I said the Bruce Lee meme to you, like don't fear the man who's thrown 10,000 kicks one time, but that man who's thrown that one kick 10,000 times.
It's like watching 2 fucking first graders fight over the seesaw or some shit.
Oh,
like,
man.
no.
I literally laughed like by the third or fourth, like here we go. It's coming again. It's coming again. This basically laid in that Scarfo. Came close to that sub a few times, which you don't see much in MMA. That Scarfo. So she pulled it off in her last fight. There. She pulled it off in her. It's one of the reasons why I picked Ruiz in this one because I know she's aggressive. She goes for that hold and she gets it all the time on everyone.
But I mean,
it's technically a step up with Baze, but is it? We don't know that.
We don't know. We don't know much about
so.
Baez. Just from Contender Series, she's got a lot of, hype behind her. She looked good on the feet for the short amount of time she was there. Like, she was piecing Conejo up.
Right.
And it's like, but we didn't see, like, she had only really one trick to try to get out of that scarf hold. She kept trying to, swing her legs over, trap a leg, get her hips underneath. But, like, where was the framing on the head, like.
Well, she was,
like if the person's that tight to you as well, like I know it's easier said than done, but there is a way where you can pendulum and rock them over to the back.
She almost did a few times. She almost did a few times, and I think that Conejo was just way stronger than her. I think that's what it came down to. And like
you were saying, she's mastered that position. She knows the weight distribution when it's happening.
If someone's willing to commit to that position, it becomes a very boring MMA fight. But you're not going to get out of it. Like if somebody wants just to hold a certain position like that, and they're good at it and they're strong, like. Yeah, you can move around. You're going to get out of it if she tries to sub you, if she tries to go for a finish, she tries to transition. But if she's just willing to sit there and hold you, you're not going to get out of that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really blame, Ruiz either. She's on short notice. Yeah. How much time has she had to prepare for, Cheyenne? So she's coming to win her fight. She's cashing out with a good UFC payday. Who knows if they're going to bring her back with the drama surrounding the fight at the end. Kind of hard to tell if she spit on her or not.
I don't understand the logic of trying to start a fight with someone who just beat you in a fight.
Yeah,
like what do you think's going to happen?
But she's like
what
she say? She's like, Cheyenne says, "I'll follow you home, bitch." What to get fucking headlocked in your front yard
in the driveway? The scarf hole in the driveway? What the fuck?
What's gonna be?
What are you gonna
different?
do? You can do when you bite her. Like that's about it. You're gonna bite her to get out. That's all you can. You can start doing stuff like eye gouges, I guess.
She's gonna get you and JP. She's gonna double up.
JP had to be woozy. we'll get to JP in a while. He had to be woozy still. He did not look happy in there. So both of these women are kind of question marks to begin with, and I don't really have no idea going forward.
Get them the fuck out of here. They're not coming.
I mean,
back.
I think Baez can actually maybe come back. I mean, nobody wants to see Ruiz again. Sorry. Congrats on your win. You earned it. I picked you to win, but like, I don't want to see you fight ever again.
Put her in the Devil's Rejects sequel.
Yeah, she loved all that. She has like every horror movie tattoo on her. Now, this one was, I think, performance of the night. Yeah. Maybe not the fight of the night. Yanez strike. They call him Baby Masvidal, and I think that's almost like an insult to him.
So hyped on Yanez.
Like his hands are so much better than Masvidal. Masvidal's got some hands too. Yeah. But he is crisp.
But they are quick.
And he's smart. Like he didn't fall for traps. Lopez the better grappler. If it got to the ground, maybe.
Yeah, but he didn't try.
I sprinkled 1,000 on a Yanez prop. I put that on my whiskey wages because I thought maybe a club and sub type situation that happens sometimes in MMA. Yeah. Just kind of saw plus 1,000. Yeah. So I put a couple units on there. But like Gustavo would have been a better grappler. So he staying out of that exchange was pretty smart for him. And then it was over.
The only prop I played here, I took a unit on Lopez decision because I thought he would grapple more. Right. And maybe expose Yanez's, grappling, but Yanez, man, he's ceiling
that 135-pound division is just stacked from Gills. We got another one coming out later in this fight that had a big knockout as well too. Like headhunters in that division. Yeah. 135 is the best division in MMA right now.
But I want to see more of Yanez.
Who do you want to see him fight?
Damn, he called out Nate Maness, which
because Maness called him out. That's why
he needs a top 15, dude. Man, he's gonna smoke Maness.
Not yet.
He'll smoke Nate.
Not yet. If
not a top 15.
I like why not give him the Maness? Give him a couple of wins first. If Sugar hasn't had a top 15 fight, why should he?
Let him beat Nate. Give him the winner of Almeida and Sugar Sean.
I wouldn't be against that. Or we can see what happens within. There's a lot of stuff going on at 135 right now.
There's a lot of stuff happening.
A lot of shuffling.
2 big fights haven't been announced.
Yeah.
So.
All right, last fight on the main card.
Harry, I came for the T-shirt, Hunsucker.
He's got so many tattoos. He wants to make sure that he's a UFC fighter. He's got the cage. He's got the tap out. He's got the Carlson Gracie Bulldogs on his back. he's like, if you don't know this guy's a fighter, he's one tattoo short.
I had the most fun of the week last week going through the Harry Hunsucker rabbit hole. When I saw that he got booked for the fight, I thought maybe he's a big underdog because this guy got a shot. And I got welcomed into the Kentucky MMA scene. It is fucking outstanding. I go watch Harry Hunsucker fights. You will not be disappointed. It's like lightly trained Jerry Springer.
Or you will.
But going against a man, Bam Bam, who is still got a bright future at heavyweight. He's only 28 years old. He kind of got skyrocketed, pushed really heavy at first because he's entertaining, got the shoey. He's a basher. He goes into fights. He ran into some trouble. He lost to JDS.
How many more fights we got till Dolidze and fucking Jones?
We're almost there.
I got to get a little bit more lit.
We're almost there. But I love Bam Bam Tuivasa. I think the guys, again, I call him the modern day Mark Hunt, and I always love Mark Hunt because he goes in there, he goes to bash. It's like kill or be killed. That's how he goes in there and fights. So
yeah, I was like, if Tuivasa doesn't get this guy out of here,
the
in the first
the
round,
favorite.
he gotta get cut.
If you watch anything about this fight, like when he first leg kicks Harry Huntsucker, the face he made, like, oh, what is this? They don't do this in Kentucky. Like his whole life fucking changed, and then Bam Bam just went in there and took him out.
When they hit him with that right hand too, he's like, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble."
But
This
yeah,
is the UFC.
hey, at least he got the fight. Shout out to Huntsucker. Did take us like on 2 days' notice.
Yeah.
He got in there. He had the balls to go against a legit guy who has a shot at getting towards that title picture at one point. Like if Bam Bam gets a title opportunity at one point, I would not be shocked. I'm not saying I'm not gonna guarantee it right in the stone, but he's a guy that can write a couple wins and get put in that picture real quick.
Yeah.
Well, does he stay a top 15 guy next?
I mean, why not?
Why not go?
He's
Why
on
not
a
go?
two-fight
Now,
win streak, yeah.
why not go Bam Bam and Dawkins?
Yeah, why not? But they're talking who they're talking about, Dawkins and
I think that hands in that fight would be
Dawkins and Aspinall.
That's too early. Those are two guys that might main event and pay per view one day. I wouldn't do that now, but the hands in Dawkins and Tuivasa would be so fun to watch.
Yeah.
They'll fucking beat the shit out of each other.
Good fight for Dawkins, I think.
Oh, and they'll bump him up high, really high, real fast. Because he's outside the top 15, but he should be in there. Again, who's that fucking Shamir guy I always talk about? I don't know who the fuck that guy is. He's been there forever.
Yeah.
Well, let's move
he
on.
beat Derek Lewis, that guy.
Who? No, Ivanov, didn't he? No, Ivanov got a
No,
decision.
it's that guy we don't know. He actually beat Derek Lewis in an earlier fight.
Jamil?
Yeah.
That's the only fight he ever had?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to
Yeah.
the undercard.
Maybe fight of the night?
This is a really
This
good
might be the
fight.
fight of the night. This was
I
the most
enjoyed this
competitive
fight.
fight probably of the night.
Yeah, this is a close
They went
fight.
back and forth. Chase on a lady who's got Nunes in her sights, right? That's what they're talking about. Pumping
Yeah.
up there. Ultimate Fighter winner versus Marion Renault, a long veteran, been in there with all the best in that division as well, and pretty legit.
Yeah, Marion won the first round for sure.
When did she get her nose broken? That's the second round?
Yeah, but you could see like Macy Chason started to take.
This is when I
over
kind
early
of calmed down
second
and started to remember
third.
stuff again. the Dawson Santos fight, I was still in fucking rage mode. We'll talk
Oh,
about
and the
that in
one
a
before
second.
that too.
No, that whole fight I was enjoying it until the decision, but we'll talk
Yeah.
when that gets
Yeah, I
there.
think Macy started to pull away in the second round. She was landing the more convincing shots, whereas Marion was just pretty much continuing to push the pace and control, like try to control the grappling aspect of it. But Macy, like she would get it down, but Macy had great defensive grappling sweeps to get back to her.
Could we
feet.
look up the round 3 stats? That was the toughest round for me to score. I think Renault won, chasing 2 for sure. I just want to see what it looked like. Yeah, there you go. Look, it's really fucking close.
Yeah, I think that
They both took each other down. I thought, wasn't Marion hunting subs at one point in the third round?
Well,
No,
there's
she
zero
got her.
subs.
Like,
She
she
got
went
her
like a-
down briefly. Like she took her down, but then she
Even
swept,
with-
and then Macy took her
Did
down.
she put her in omoplata?
There towards the end, she did omoplata.
Yeah,
She went,
yeah,
but
it was
it was
close.
the end of the round. Yeah.
That third round was really tough to score. I guess you could say Macy edged it out for sure.
Nah,
Again-
Derek Lewis beat Shamil Abdurakhim Muhammad.
I don't remember that fight at all. There's
Sorry.
zero recollection
Sorry
of
to go on
that
a
fight.
tangent with that one,
But yeah, so
Yeah.
Macy's got. Let's look at that 135 division because she's moving. That might be Marion Renault's last fight. She's up there in age.
What's that? The straw weight?
No,
that's,
that is
bantamweight.
bantamweight. That's Nunes. Oh, the one that actually has rankings.
There we go.
Why don't you give her Lena Landsberg again?
Yeah, I think she could beat 11 through. Well, she's 11, so.
Well, Landsberg beat her.
Not interested in Sarah. What about Ketlin Vieira? She's off a loss.
I want to see her beat Lena Landsberg. Landsberg beat her. Give her that rematch. Let her like justify. You don't want to rush her to the top, right?
Yeah.
And let her like kind of get that retribution for that loss she had.
Yeah, we're not going to get into all that.
What
stuff.
with Pena?
What's that? Irene Aldana. You know, we haven't seen anything since she lost the home.
I mean, I bet Aldana will be a night. Yeah, home beat the shit out of her. That's why she's probably rethinking her career choice.
It's been like 6 months ago. Not even a fight announced.
Yeah, I wouldn't give her anybody below her.
No,
Maybe a
she'll-
Sarah McMahon. I mean, all those chicks lost.
Yeah,
Except for Yana. Yana's the only one who isn't coming off a loss.
Interest in seeing her fight Sarah McMahon. I'd like Ketlin Vieira. I mean, I'd be okay with Lena Landsberg. Ketlin Vieira.
Yeah, I think that's the best move. It's right above her. I mean, she might be up to like 9 now, but avenge her loss and then go forward from there.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
So further evidence
All right,
that our
so-
judges are full of shit.
Yeah, this was.
So I was most of this fight I was watching in rage mode, so like my brain wasn't really recollecting, receiving the messages that the screen was telling me.
Santos Dawson.
So from what I saw, and from not only commentary but from James Krause himself, Santos was winning this whole fight and was kind of trying to running out the clock in round number 5. Yeah. Whereas with 1 second left, round
number 3, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, round number 3, that final round. So like. Dawson just starts going crazy with the ground and pound, throwing these hammer fists left and right, and then he catches Santos with one, and then you kind of see he gets woozy, hits him with a second one, he's out, hits him with a third one, and the fucking mouthpiece goes across the cage.
2 more after he was out.
When there was 1 second left on the clock, 2 seconds left on the clock, and he just thinks he just grab this victory from the jaws of defeat, because right before that round starts, Krause in his corner is telling him, you got to finish this to win, you're going to lose this fight. But turns out to be the fucking judges had him winning on the cards.
Yeah, this is all pre-season.
Everybody and their grandmother had Santos winning those 2 rounds. But Dawson got a great win, but it doesn't sully what he did or anything like that. But it just kind of builds my case for what's coming, everybody. Spoiler alert.
This is all the prologue for the book that you're about to get into. This is the prologue about what's about to really fuck.
How terrible MMA judges are. Shout out to Grant Dawson. Great fucking finish. One of the coolest endings ever, right up there with Silva catching that triangle leg against Sonnen.
Yeah.
Like, you think this fight is over, and then that just shows like the heart of a fighter. Like, I'm not quitting. I'm giving everything I got until time runs out.
Knocking out Pat Barry.
On the flip side, going back to the main event, at the end of the fight, Kevin Holland like runs away with like 20 seconds left.
Yeah, what was that about?
He could have fucking went and tried to go for a crazy knee knockout and get Dawson there for maybe he catches him and wins the fight. So like it kind of shows that Dawson's got blinders and I'm trying to win every second of every
Holland
single fight.
had his moments, man.
Right. So like at 155, Dawson coming up, maybe this is his division. Like maybe this, I'm not like his.
Dawson's a good prospect.
But I'm saying this is where he should be fighting. Is what I meant to say. I'm not trying to say he's going to dominate everybody. What I'm trying to say is maybe this is where he should be at. Looked good. Santos an older fighter.
41,
probably might be
on the way
see you
out.
later.
Yeah, probably on the way out.
But yeah, Dawson, and let's look at that 155, which is being thrown all around with the King we're leaving for sure.
Lightweight.
Did I pass it up already? Oh yeah, I did.
They said that could be his picture. Dana won't let go. Move on, Dana.
Yeah, I don't know. Like none of those guys, I don't think. He's not top 15 yet.
I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Kevin Lee.
Top 25.
Why not Kevin Lee?
Kevin Lee might smoke him.
Maybe, but Kevin Lee lays eggs sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like Kevin Lee's not a guy you go put your money on. Like you might pick him, but you're not gonna put too much money on Kevin Lee.
I would probably pick him against Dawson though. I think Dawson needs a few more. He's groomed a few more fights.
I don't know, does Kevin Lee even fight anymore?
I don't know. He's getting badass
head tattoos. Yeah.
Shit.
But I like the Kevin Lee. I'll go that way.
Alan Quinton.
I think Alan Quinton's retired.
Alan Quinton don't want to fight. He's saying other people.
Man, I think he's retired. Now let me get this poured out for this next fight coming up.
Oh shit!
It's your favorite fight of the
night. Y'all are in for a treat now. It ain't even pay-per-view.
All right.
Somebody ring the bell.
Ding, motherfucking ding. Now, should I just try to break down the fight first, or should I tell these judges what the fuck I think?
Well, you state your case because me and you are on the opposite sides for this.
Well, Roman Dolidze won this fight 30-27 because he won every single round. If you look at the numbers, total strikes, all him. Right? Significant strikes, all him. Takedowns, they're even. He had submission attempts. He had control in each round. The one moment that Giles controlled this fight was in round 3 when he dropped him and rocked him. They got it knocked down. Giles showed the fight IQ of this table and went to grapple one of the best grapplers in the world, which led to a sweep and reversal by Dolidze, who continued to win the rest of the round and end in side control after landing more strikes in that third round than Giles did, both significant and total. So where in what world does Trevin Giles win any one of these rounds?
Is that it? I'm a little underwhelmed.
I haven't even started on my judge rant yet.
You're waiting on me. Okay. So, here we go. I'm going to be devil's advocate here for these judges. Dolidze wins round 1. Not even an argument. Wins round 1.
Everyone gets their opening statement, dude.
Round number 2. It's on the feet. Giles is getting the better of the exchanges. Giles hurts him. It goes to the ground. We're in a 50-50 position. Dolidze's hunting that heel hook. He's getting close. He's transitioning heel hook, knee bar. while Giles is hitting him with big shots. He's hitting him with the backhand.
Not
He's
big
hitting
enough
him with
to
elbows.
break the grip.
He's dropping hip
big
pressure.
enough to break the grip. Not that big.
He's dropping hip pressure. He's not feeling super threatened. He's landing some big shots. It gets back up. There's some grappling exchanges. Mostly it's pressed up against the cage. Round ends. I give the second round to Giles. It's 1-1.
He also picked Giles.
He also picked Dolidze. Round 3.
I did.
Yeah, round 3. Giles is getting the better of the exchanges on the feet. He's got Dolidze hurt a few times. It goes to the ground.
He landed 6 strikes.
All significant, though.
All significant, very impactful in the fight.
Dolidze landed 8 significant strikes in round 3.
So, okay, so we're getting into it. There's some takedowns, there's some exchanges. What Mike says is not false. Dolidze does end the round on top, but Mike goes back and gives Dolidze credit for attacking the heel hooks and putting himself in those bad positions to get punched. At the end of round 3, Giles inverts. He shoots a triangle, inverts for the armbar, and does a sorry excuse for an escape, and Dolidze ends up inside control for 5 seconds to end the round. I give, based off damage and based off, Giles gets 2 and 3 in my book.
There was no damage.
His face.
There was marks on his face.
Giles could literally say,
Giles' legs was marked up worse than Dolidze's face was.
You should see the other guy.
Giles' calf was torn up.
Giles all but waltzed out of there. Like, he could have just...
Dolidze was standing tall at the end, so the face didn't do anything either. So fuck you too. Listen, there's no fucking world where Dolidze loses this fight. He loses a round. There's an argument for a 30-26. That could have been a 10-8 first round. If John Blachowicz got a 10-8 round, if Conejo got a 10-8 round, he got a 10-8 round with that 10-8 round in round 1 because he just laid on top of it. You want to go to any metric you can measure, he doubled up, almost tripled his fucking strikes. If you go to fucking DraftKings measurement, right? Oh, they almost scored the same amount of points, and Giles got 30 points just for winning. Oh, Conejo, who laid on top of a woman for 3 rounds, doubled Giles' scoring numbers in DraftKings. He did nothing for 3 rounds, and he landed a shot. He rocked him for about 15 seconds, and then that was it. So, if you are an MMA judge, fuck you. Fuck your mother, your father, your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, neighbors, your cousins, your fucking teachers who molded your brain, community leaders, your fucking religious, who you pray to. Fuck them too. And if you think Trevon Giles won that fight, fuck you too. Because you don't have any idea what the fuck you are talking about, right? This guy threw some fists. If they were so painful and so fucking powerful and effective and causing damage, don't you think he would let go of the heel hook and cover his face or try to get out of that position? Obviously, if I'm letting it hit me in the face, it's not hurting me. It's not doing anything. I'm right where I want to be in that fight, attacking for a win. The reason second round numbers look a little bit off, because you can only do 1 submission attempt at a time. So as he's hitting that 30 times, oh, guess what? I'm holding the same heel hook. It's the same, effectively a wash. So you go to the tiebreaker in that situation. It's the guy who initiated the position. Who wants to be there? Giles does not want to be punching, holding on, hoping this guy does not tear up my leg. Dolidze wants to be right there hunting that heel hook for that round. So he put the fight where it wanted to go. If you want to go to control time, it's not even fucking close.
Is that good fight IQ to hold something when you're getting pounded in the face?
Yes, it is, because it doesn't hurt. If you're not getting hurt, who cares? Like, you can punch me in the face. I'll take it. Trust me. Concussions are not that bad, everybody. I know Will Smith made a fucking movie and everybody got all popular about it. Trust me. I've had a bunch. They're all right. They're a little, take a little aspirin, you're good for the day. Listen, there's no fucking universe, world, sport, anything. This made me want to quit watching MMA. I want to disregard every judge's decision. And then right behind it, they show you again how fucking inept these people are. So if you're an MMA judge, I want to go in the cage with you. Let's go together. I want you to feel some of these things that these people are doing, and I want you to know how much a heel hook really fucking hurts. And I'll put you in a fucking heel hook, trust me.
Will you let you get them in the heel hook?
And you can punch me in the fucking face. Trust me, I've been punched in the face plenty of times in my life.
In heel hooks too.
I've been in heel hooks, and I could tell you which one hurts fucking more. Tony has put me in a fucking heel hook before, and I'd rather him punch me in the face any fucking day of the week. Any day of the week.
I don't know. I get Mike's standpoint. I really do. But I've watched this fight 3 times now. And I still get 29-28 Giles.
He told me before this fight started, I will die on the hill for Giles. So that just shows you his dedication for
and
this.
you'll die on the hill for Delete.
I never said I'm not going to die on the hill for nobody. I'm the dying on the hill that the fucking MMA judges are full of shit and don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And this is not just one case. This is like the fucking straw that broke the camel's back. That these guys have no clue what the fuck they're doing. It's a broken system. Fucking, it's the I almost said something I might regret a little bit later in life, so I'm not going to say it right now. But this is fucking bullshit. I swear, I wish I could be. Even Trevon Giles admitted he didn't win the fucking fight. Because when you win a fight at the end, you don't say, "Oh, I could see if he would have got the decision." You go, "No, I whooped his fucking ass. Judges got it right."
I mean, I think it's just a matter of perspective.
When you're
opinion.
sure that you won a fight, you don't question the judge. You're like, "Oh no," you're like, "Oh." He
It's
could have
like
won
when
the
me
fight.
and you had different stances on that Aldo Vera fight. This is somewhat similar. Where
No, Aldo never tried
was
to
spending
submission.
time controlling on the back in a dominant position, but Vera was hitting him with
Aldo
shots. and
did
you
not
thought
try
Vera won
one
the shot,
submission.
and I
Aldo did not try one
and
submission.
I argued the opposite.
Aldo never tried a submission hold. He never tried to put a submission on. He held back control. There's a difference. When you are going to a submission, you are doing offense, and you can't measure
But
it
he
in
wasn't
strikes.
holding that the whole time. I was getting punched in the face. He wasn't holding. He was transitioning. He went inside, outside, knee
But
bar.
he wasn't.
You know?
like you're not. You can't. It doesn't count. You can't say, "Oh, that's like 30 submissions." You can't do that. But it's the same. It's essentially the same thing. So at the best, that position's a wash. So who put them down there? There's no fucking world that Trevon Giles wins. And again, if you think he did, fuck you. I don't care. Fuck you. You get two fingers this goddamn time. My crooked ass football fingers are going right up your fucking ass. Fuck you.
And if you think that's bad, guys, I've been hearing it since last night. So
The problem is that MMA judges don't know the fucking difference between a fucking heel hook and a butt plug. That's their problem. They need to get their fucking thumbs out their goddamn ass and pay attention to what the fuck's going on in the goddamn
they're
cage.
into alternative lifestyles.
Has there ever been a card that nobody's not talking about how bad these judges are? Has there ever been a card? They're fucking terrible. They're terrible.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on. Montel Jackson.
Little palate cleanser right here. This is not much to talk about.
Round 1 knockout.
So again, this goes back to the fucking bantamweight division. But
Oh, this
it's
round
just-
one or round? Yeah, round one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long round one, but
I thought it was in round two.
I was actually. I thought it was a little bit longer. Than
I
short.
thought it was in round 2.
2 minutes.
It's round
Yeah, a
one.
lot happened in less than 2 minutes. Then
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Jackson.
I think Strader knew when he felt that first shot. Like he knew.
Well, Strader had one shot. Strader has a good counter right hand, and that's why I thought he was a live dog, and I figured I'd take him because Jackson is still kind of proving himself, and maybe he slips up, maybe steps on a banana peel, and he also trains Aaron Carter, Jesse Strader's boxing trainer for Aaron Carter. So they,
we should talk about that.
yeah.
Pretty funny.
But again, Jackson was a big time. I think he was the biggest favorite on the card before the Tuivasa thing went down. When Tuivasa was fighting Mays, he wasn't as big as a favorite. I laid a little cheese. I laid a little cheese on Jesse Strader. I picked him up also because I was trying to pick up some fucking ground. I took the biggest underdog on the card. But yeah, Jackson just fucking lit him up, and then Jackson is so fucking tall for that division.
He's 135.
Yeah,
Why don't we do Jackson and Yanez?
I'm down with that.
That'd be a great fight.
I'm down with that
That'd be
for
a
sure.
Great fight on
That
the
might
feet.
be what's coming.
Yeah, we ain't got to worry about judges in that one.
No, that one's going 9-9.
All right, let's keep it rolling.
A great start to the night for me. A great fucking start to me. Fucking
Feeling
big
good.
Bruno.
He's rolling now.
Big fucking Bruno comes out. Had a little chip on Bruno by fucking TKO, and he just beat the shit out of Baez. It took him 2 rounds, but it was never in question.
He beat the brakes off of him. I knew from the first 10 seconds of that fight. I text Mike. I'm like, he's going to knock him out. It's going to be an overhand right. It's there all day.
Silva's a guy who's not as bad as his record says he is. He has some
He's
talent.
fought
He
really
has
good
some skill.
competition
Yeah.
and fought some
Close losses.
Yeah.
His fight with Tagir Ulanbekov, like he might have won that fight. Again, the fucking judges. But again, he's fighting top-notch guys with big aspirations, whereas JP Bays is like just a guy that from Contender Series, and it's starting to look like these Contender Series guys are.
Yeah, it's almost like, hey, maybe we should bet against Contender Series guys. I've been doing that a lot lately, kind of.
I mean, that's a 50-50 shot. Like if you look at it, they're not fighting the best people on that Contender Series for sure. It's
a bunch of nobodies fighting
right,
a bunch of
and
nobodies.
I think Dana feeds the people. The ones that they want to push, that he feeds them the guys to beat them. Like who was it that just lost last week? The city or 2 weeks ago, the city kickboxing guy, the fucking model.
Oh yeah, fucking Carl.
Like he fed him a guy that's gonna go right into his wheelhouse, and the contender series, and he fucking ices him in a few minutes. Right? He tried to feed him another guy, and Kennedy fucking shocked the world. Like, so I think that contender series, they're kind of like, okay. I mean, they're obviously legit fights. They're not fixed or nothing like that. But like, I'm gonna give you a guy that I think's gonna go right to where you want to go, and let's make you a star. Let's make a highlight reel and make you a star.
It makes you wonder though. Like you look at these smaller, these fight camps in these smaller countries like New Zealand, you know, city kickboxing and things like that. Are they exposed to the amount of talent that somebody at American Top Team is exposed to?
Absolutely not.
You know, so it makes you wonder. You know,
It's been a bad run for city kickboxing lately.
yeah. It's like you see, like the English, you know, and the Europe's kind of closing that gap with the Americas, right? In MMA style, but like once you get far east, they're still a little bit behind. You know, that's why we're trying to build that over there.
Well, where does South Africa fall in that mix? Well, who is he at Top Team though?
I don't know where.
He's
at
Couture.
Fortis. Fortis MMA
Okay,
in,
I knew they were in Florida.
Fort Worth, I think, Texas.
Oh, in Texas.
Fortis
in Texas.
And then you got Driscoll.
Yeah, Safe
Duplessis
Sayud,
in
right.
South Africa.
That's with Uriah Hall and all them, right?
Yeah, Uriah Hall and them.
Yeah.
Fortis MMA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. These guys, Bruno's a little bit up there in age. Bays, again, just like his wife, making his debut. You don't want to write nobody off after their debut, but it's that welcome to the UFC moment. Let's see how he responds to
lost, it. You know, like it's him coming out later to coach her after getting knocked out. You know what a
Bays is a slow starter. He kind of lets people initiate the action. That's one of the reasons why I picked against him in the contender series. Remember, I picked against him when he had his fight because he tends to let his opponent dictate what's going to happen. And that's what happened last night.
He's definitely like scrappy and scrambly and had some decent.
He's got some good wrestling,
defensive grappling and stuff. But like his on the feet, he's not there, man. He's not there.
Yeah, and he seemed kind of lackadaisical in there, and not like careless, but it's like.
And you can see it where the game's developing. Like a defensive jiu-jitsu strategy is not a good strategy. You don't want to fucking be playing guard. You don't want to fucking. I don't care how good your guard is. Your closed guard, your half guard.
Well, there's jiu-jitsu and there's MMA jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, MMA jiu-jitsu, if you're on the bottom, get your fucking ass up.
Right.
You know, try to get up.
But yeah, so that pretty much wrapped up the card. Fuck the judges.
All right. Well, we got a really big, exciting
next T-shirt,
card.
#, fuck judges.
A few of those coming around, huh?
Well, yeah, the quote. What's the mic quote? It's like the
Is
worst
1, 2, and 3?
robbery in MMA history or something.
Yeah. Biggest robbery.
I almost quit watching MMA.
I did. I'm gonna broke my fucking TV.
I thought we lost him, guys.
And I had very little coin on that fight too.
All right. Well, do we want to talk about our whiskey?
Yeah, we can go over that right now. So, my top 3, right? What I posted on our Twitter account, I won 1 out of those 3. It was the main event going over 2.5. I had that at minus 105 at 2.5 units. I had Doladize winning in the distance, which wouldn't affect by the judges, but I thought he would get it done. At 3 units, I lost that, and then I lost. I put 1 unit on Yanez by sub for there because I thought maybe a club and sub situation. So at 6 units invested, I brought back 5.
Yeah. So,
but DraftKings was much better for me.
I hit a few in the props. I hit Conejo money line, Conejo to win by decision. I hit Brunson by decision, and I hit Giles to win the fight, to add a little salt to the wound.
Giles by fucking robbery.
Paid me, though.
Yeah.
Put money in that pocket.
I just had my fucking... as far as DraftKings went, a little bit more productive for me. I definitely came back with more than I put into DraftKings. My top tournament. I posted it on Twitter as well. I finished 21st out of like 900 people or something like that. Netted me 150. It's $100 buy and $250. Netted me 150 on that one.
Up? What did you play?
No, that was one of the. It was a single entry $100 one, but it was that, and I cashed in other tournaments as well. Our predictions. The 9K kind of got demolished by cancellations, but we both had Montez Jackson as I had him as my top guy. He had 116, which was the top scoring 9K guy. Tony had him as second over Gillespie, who didn't fight, so we don't know what he would have got. You can't predict that. Yeah. We both had Avila as third, and we both thought Sham Baez was our worst opponent, worst choice at 9K, and it proved that she was because she fucking barely outscored people didn't fight. Our value, again, you're swinging and missing, but we both did pretty well. Again, I talked about Jesse Strader having that puncher's chance at $6,800. You want to put that on your lineup sometimes. It's going to help you to pay some stuff. And if he does shock the world, that's going to break a slate for sure. Again, Song Kanan, kind of the same thing for me. Underdog with puncher's chance to knock him out. Again, they both scored about 5.6, which is usually what a puncher's chance is when you lose. They usually get knocked out, and they both knocked out. We both had Derek Brunson, who was the highest scorer of the night. On our value slate at a 144.25. I went with Bruno Silva too, who was the second highest scorer on the slate, and he was at my value. Tony had Kaneho, who actually both broke 100 as well. So we both did pretty well with our value, and then 9K got decimated by fight cancellations, so it doesn't really count. And then head-to-head, Tony smoked me 8-2 to 5-5, giving him a 6-fight lead on the year, but it's a long year.
Tony on a tear.
Tony's very excited.
Y'all enjoy these shirts. I keep winning. They're coming.
Yeah, you know what you're kind of like right now? You're like the 12-year-old kid who fingered his first girl, and he wants everybody to smell his fingers. That's what he wants right now. He's not used to winning.
You almost nailed the age with that first. Oh, shit.
It's a good, that time, that age when it happens. So yeah, he's like, hey, buddy, smell it. Look what I did. That's what we're doing right now. He's not used to winning stuff, so I'm gonna have it.
Hey, don't think it'd be any different if the shoe was on the other foot.
I was winning all year. When did I bring it up?
Yeah, you're making me eat hot, spicy fucking gummy bears and shit.
So maybe we just need to put stakes on it. Tony can win when there's no stakes. That's what we need to do. So if anybody's watching this, want to see,
rotten ass fish though.
Hey, you can. I'm down.
Nah.
So shows how confident he is. He thinks he's gonna lose. He thinks he's gonna lose. That's how it shows his confidence right now.
I'm not eating
that shirt is a facade. It's fake.
Ain't no dirty ass.
That's that fake Gucci. That's from Chinatown. But yeah, Tony's got a lead. But again, there's cards every fucking week. We got a lot of time to make this thing up, which leads us to the big one.
Okay, yeah, we've been waiting for this one.
Well, it's not a double title fight anymore, which sucks because we lost Volkanovski and Ortega to COVID. Max
Holloway would say.
Yeah, but
life goes on.
For sure. I thought Ortega was going to win that fight, but we'll talk. It's coming back. It's not off for good. It will happen. So we're going to have some other card that's super stacked late in the year, right? Yeah. But the big one, right? The heavyweight GOAT versus the Sand Farmer.
Stipe Miocic.
He has a nickname, that's right. From the Sand Farmer.
Versus Francis Ngannou.
I mean, big bangers, right? We all know the story of this fight.
Yep.
Stipe's got to avoid the power.
He's got to avoid the
power, and he's the better MMA fighter, right? The other question mark is, what has Stipe done in the time? Now, he's been working with some top guys, and it's going to go over. You're going to hear this over and over, this narrative of him working with Usman, which probably helps him, right? For sure. He's not going to be against it. He has said he has worked on his wrestling. This is before the Stipe fight, too. He said he was bummed in Biggie Boy. He didn't get to use any wrestling in his other fights because he wanted to, show that he's improved. It has been about 3 years since this fight happened, which, as we know, is enough time to get yourself a blue belt. Right, learn your game. So he could be a better grappler by now. Who knows? And that's what we want to see what happens. That's what we have to see. It's a question mark. I'm not going to say he is better or he isn't. That's what we're going to learn on Saturday night.
That's a hard narrative for me to buy sometimes.
Well, I don't think he's going to come out being Khabib.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely not. But it's also like there's also octagon experience value, and then there's also training room experience value. You're like in the big moment. Are you using that in actual competition or in the training room? Right, like. I just don't see. I think Stipe wins this fight again, and I'm gonna bet money that he wins it by a finish this time.
Here's where I'm at with this fight right now. Full disclosure: I've already laid a bet on Stipe Miocic, and that's just because he's underdog money right now. But I might end up fucking hedging and put Francis Ngannou by KO on the other side because that's the way the fight's gonna go if Francis wins this fight. He's not gonna win a fucking decision. Although who knows what these judges are going to fucking say. But I don't see a world where Francis wins a 5-round decision against Stipe Miocic. It's going to either he knocks him out. No. And the thing is, like every other Francis fight, he's only got to be good for 1 second. Yeah. We saw it with Derek Lewis and Curtis Blades. We've seen it in other fights where you only have to be, when you have power like Francis Ngannou, it just takes one. It just takes one.
Yeah, but I think Stipe's got the answer to this.
Most likely.
And I think, like, I'm at this moment, I am so confident. I've already put money on Stipe money line that I'm going to put money on.
This is a good value, though.
Yeah, it's a good fight, but I'm also going to put money on Stipe to finish.
I don't know about that.
There were spots, man. He had Ngannou rocked in that first fight.
But Stipe doesn't finish much.
But I think if he actually goes for it, he can do it. He can finish Ngannou.
How many finishes does Stipe have in his? I don't think he has many finishes.
He can finish Ngannou, but the only thing that worries me, though, obviously,
and Ngannou does he?
One
He doesn't
punch
get
power, and Stipe's been in some wars with 3 DC fights.
There is this
And
other,
Ngannou.
and I never noticed this, and it's kind of true about Stipe Miocic. All his tough fights were guys up in age. The top guys that he's beaten, the Cormiers and the JDSs, and his top guys.
But I think that's a good valid argument for somebody that's not Francis Ngannou. Like, he is well versed with Francis Ngannou.
Is he?
Like, he knows what to expect, Francis Ngannou. He's been through it once.
Yeah, knowing what to. It just takes one. It just takes one.
After that first Francis fight, his eye was
and I think Francis was the reason he lost to Cormier.
Jody has spoken.
I think I'm going to bet the farm on Francis.
I'm gonna put some money on a Francis by KO prop. That's if a Francis Ngannou fight is happening, you should put money on a Francis Ngannou knockout prop. It's stupid not to. I have the CP on the other side because if you're gonna give me the heavyweight champion who is arguably the best of all time in that division at underdog money, yes, I'll take a shot at that. But I am not sold. Like heads up picks, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I'm gonna wait this one out.
Oh, I'm going heads up Stipe. And I'm going
I might
money line Stipe, and I'm going Stipe finish this one.
I don't see a finish.
And I think you see Stipe John Jones.
Well, if Stipe wins, it'll be for sure. That's
I
guaranteed. Whoever wins this fight's fighting John Jones. That's already set in stone.
And I think I might take Francis again on that.
Well, here, the thing with Francis is dangerous every fucking fight because that power is ungodly. It's crazy, the power that he has.
I mean,
I think Francis is a harder fight for John Jones than Stipe is for John Jones, which is so weird for me to say because I think Stipe is going to beat Ngannou.
Well, styles make fights.
Yeah, so.
But this is what this fight is basically the MMA version of Fury versus Wilder. That's what it is. And Wilder came a couple seconds away from beating Tyson Fury, right? The count, there's a questionable count and all that stuff. So it's the same game. Like the better MMA fighter is Stipe Miocic, for sure.
It's going to go to the distance. Francis is going to win. Mike's going to come in fucking breaking tables. These fucking judges.
Quitting MMA.
If fucking Francis Ngannou wins by decision, the judges need to fucking go because this guy is not going to throw high volume.
Dude, there's no way he's done after the first or second round.
He's not going to.
No way.
Oh, he lasted 5 with Francis.
Dude, he's done, but he will not knock Stipe out after the first round.
He
can stay in there, but he will not knock him out.
You're looking at a different person.
He's
a different
too slow.
time.
He's too muscular. No, it ain't happening, bro.
I don't know.
Well,
again, I haven't settled in on anybody yet. So Tony seems more sure about this fight than I am. I'm not sure yet.
Well, that's because I've watched the first fight twice this weekend.
I don't think it's relevant. I don't think the first fight. It's too long ago. It's not relevant anymore.
I don't think Ngannou's done enough to show me he's got more of a well-rounded game because he's knocked fools out, which is what Ngannou does.
I mean, does that mean that Stipe's just going to try to take him to the
Stipe's
ground?
40 years old, too.
No, I think Stipe's going to play essentially the same game.
Stipe's 40 years old, too.
I mean, that was my argument is I think Stipe is at the end of his
40's,
career.
40's the end of the line, though. There's not many at 40
Ngannou's the
around.
Future. You know, I think Ngannou's going to.
So that's again. I am
supreme.
not picking Francis Ngannou right now. I'm not picking anybody today. But
I'm picking Francis.
Again, I already, like I said, being full disclosure, I already put some money on Stipe because of that line, and that line's worth putting some money on. But I'm probably gonna come back with Francis by knockout on the other side and hedge that shit because I think that's a smart way to bet this fight. Stipe hit money line, and then Francis with a KO. If you want to make money on that fight, that's the way you do it. But yeah, it's a good one. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited for it.
Well, let's move on to the co-main. I guess is now the co-main event.
Again, another one.
I think we all know how this one's gonna end.
I don't know. I think Willie's gonna get back on track.
I'm kind of feeling the same
the
vibe
chosen one
too.
gets back on track.
I might for sporting and closing the gap go at Luque, but I do think Woodley gets back on track. Otherwise, the fact that he's still fighting kind of encourages me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like why are you still in
and
there?
the guys he struggled with are very good grapplers, right? He lost to Usman, he lost to Burns, and he lost to Colby. Mm-hmm. Guys that swarm you, that smother you.
You have the threat of the takedown. You got to think in the back of your head.
And Luque's not going to do that. Yeah. Luque's going to try to kickbox with him.
Yeah.
And he's a great kickboxer. He might knock his head off. And then if that does happen, this is the last fight for Tyron Woodley. But I think Woodley gets back to him wrestling him to the ground and grinding this out.
Woodley hits him with a counter shot.
I honestly am leaning Woodley by submission. That's where I'm leaning in this fight.
Well, I mean,
very
he's
similar to the
big
Darren Till
underdog.
situation. I think he was a big underdog against Darren Till as well, and I think this is a very similar matchup for that fight. And Darren, a little bit bigger. Darren Till was even bigger.
Yeah.
But Darren Till, great kickboxer. Fucking Woodley took him to the ground. Again, his last 3 fights, he looked fucking horrible, but those are guys that have endless gas tanks and are fucking great
you
grapplers.
can't do the recency bias shit sometimes.
Well, it's not even there's a recency bias. If it was another grappler, I'm like, oh, maybe he doesn't have that. But Luque is not going to be taking him down and shooting shots.
Luque's been in the game for a bit too. He's got a lot of damage. He's been in some fights.
I mean, but Luque is 3 inches taller than him.
So was Darren Till.
Yeah,
I guess that's.
And Darren Till's a fucking
and they're very similar fighters.
Heavyweight.
And they're very similar fighters, Luque and Till. Very similar style with the kickboxing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I do honestly think Woodley does come back in here. I might end up picking Luque and our heads up picks just because I need to close up some fucking ground. But we'll see. We'll see if I end up doing it.
Don't get desperate yet.
It's not desperate. I mean, I don't think that would be a desperate. No, I rather go with him than fucking Thomas Almeida.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So this is if you're gonna take a shot, this time a shot to take it. You know?
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I think Woodley wins this fight.
I'm leaning Woodley as well.
All right. Well, let's keep Sugar Sean.
Sugar Show returns. This is
Sugar Sean gets back on track.
That's what this fight was made for.
He knocks Thomas Almeida out.
Yes,
First or second round.
With some crazy fucking hook.
Yeah.
Some right hooks.
Yeah, that or straight down the pipe.
Favorite.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, Sugar's still undefeated, right? Him and Izzy are still undefeated.
Mm-hmm. No, come on, bro. You had me there for a second. I'm like, what?
He agreed. Did you see that? His truth came out.
I was zoning out.
He's kayfabing for the podcast.
I get one freebie.
Yeah, he was with me all there. Yeah, we got to do a big thing. Although Izzy's not really saying he won.
Well, let's keep rolling with it. You guys feel pretty strongly about that.
Yeah,
Last card on the main fight.
This is another fun one. I think Malarkey's going to be pulled off, though.
Malarkey's
part of the Volkanovski camp, who also had Brad Riddell get pulled off from a fight. Yeah. Shane Younger's been pulled off from a fight. So I think that Malarkey's going to get pulled, and Kama Worthy's going to have a different opponent. So I'm not really going to speak too much.
But I would probably, if it were these two, I'd probably take Kama Worthy, the Death Star. Here.
All right.
And I'm going to take Worthy against replacement, too. Now, this is going to be a tough one.
We should have had this one, what is it, a month ago?
This is going to be a good fight. This is going to be a fun fight.
This is hard.
Fireworks.
I still feel the same. I think William Knight's going to get this done.
And I'm still going to lean towards Menafield.
Yeah.
Menafield was supposed to be the next great light heavyweight. He lost the OSP, was it? And who else got him? Kind of got derailed a little bit. I know OSP got him for sure.
OSP got him. He lost it. Was it Did
OSP get a Von Flu on him?
I thought he knocked him out.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I know OSP had a recent Von Flu.
Event result.
Dude with the damn
Clark. Fight off by decision. So that doesn't count.
Yeah.
He did knock out Paul Craig, who just ended Mauricio Shogun Hua's career. Yeah. Again, Menafield was a big-time prospect. He's kind of lost his way, and I think he gets back on track. William Knight, though, another one of these guys from the Contender Series who has looked sharp, got the
William
knockout
Knight
power.
Is like the light heavyweight version of Derek Lewis.
I think the safest bet in this fight is going to be under 1.5.
Yeah.
I don't think this fight makes it halfway through that second round. I think this is going to be a quick fight. Whoever lands first is going to win this fight.
I'm gonna stay with William Knight here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be our first disagreement. Straight up disagreement.
Yeah.
And that's because, again, I think that Menafield gets back on track.
Next one, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with two of these chicks. I've seen Jessica Penne fight a few times. Hannah Goldie. Yeah, I can't speak much to this one.
No, I don't. 24K. She had more tattoos.
24 kids.
I gotta look back. I gotta look at the film in this. I'm gonna watch some film again.
I think Goldie's
and
the
go
favorite.
back into it. But
Penne has some solid training partners and stuff, though. I do see that.
Where's this fight happening? Do you know? The one's
125 probably.
I probably would lean towards Goldie.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Again, I want to watch some film. Obviously,
it's a big reach advantage.
The way it looks, just look at that picture. It looks like Goldie's going to try to grapple her, and Penny's going to try to fight her from distance. That's what I'm guessing is going to try to happen in that fight. But I just want to see them work a little bit more. Because honestly, I don't know much about either one of these two.
Do we have a?
Well, it looks like Goldie typically goes to decision here.
Yeah. So that's it.
All right. Well, first fight.
Average fight time 15 minutes.
Right.
Jared
Gooden and Abu Bakar.
Now, remember I was really big on Night Train, his last fight, and he got who was it?
He didn't look bad though.
But he fought. Man, can we look at to pull up Jared Gooden? I was all about him. He's a big underdog, but he is live for sure. I like Jared Gooden a lot. Who was that last fight? Joban.
Joban.
Joban's return.
A hell of a fight.
Yeah, it was a really, really good fight against Joban. I think Gooden has a future for sure. He's not the youngest guy for sure, but he's young in UFC
But
age.
you got to worry about those guys' last names end in a V.
Now, is that a cousin?
I don't know. Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov.
Again, I don't know much about Abukar. I'm guessing he's a grappler.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably Sambo trained and all that stuff.
you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go Jared Gordon. I don't know much about the other guy, but
I'm gonna go Gordon too.
who's
You know,
your favorite, Jody?
I'm looking it up. I don't. Oh wait, here it is. Favorite is Nurmagomedov at -240.
So moderate favorite.
I don't
Gooden's
think
plus 180.
I don't think a guy who's 0-0 should be a -240 favorite.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
let's
that
go
much.
with Jared Gooden.
Yeah, I'm leaning Gooden as well.
All right. Well, so that's upcoming fight, which we are going to
Hold on a second, Jody.
do a fight companion on.
I'm guessing there's gonna be more fights on this
Yeah,
fucking.
let's see. Hold on a second, Jody.
Oh, there might be.
On Tapology.
Oh well, yeah. Wait a minute. I got a whole bunch more
Okay,
fights
what is
here.
it?
Oh,
Julian
okay.
Robinson, Miranda. I'm going Miranda Maverick.
Early
That fight was
prelim.
supposed to happen, right?
Spike Carlisle went to LFA, huh?
So Modestas Bukakis versus Michael Oleksiuk.
Dude, this guy over here sneaky. This pole, man.
Who Bukakis?
Yeah.
The Lord.
I'm gonna go with the pole here, the Lord, Michael Oleksiuk.
I'm gonna dig into this one a little bit more. I am liking
Bukakis looks promising,
the
but
size of him as well too.
that's a big dude,
6'3".
man. He reminds me of
Yeah, he's got.
if he was bald, he
advantage.
would remind me of the guy from the movie Troy.
I honestly don't know much about either of these two guys, so I want to go ahead and look at
you
some
know
film.
Bukakis. We've watched.
I've seen him
fight a few
before, but I
times.
want
He
to.
lost his.
I don't
last
know.
fight.
I don't know Alexi much at all, honestly.
Keep rolling with it.
Yeah, I'm all Miranda Maverick.
All right.
This fight got canceled. Who got it? Was it Jalen Robinson? Got really sick, right?
Yeah, Jalen Robinson had to drop out day before.
Julian Robinson, the only one with worse fight IQ than fucking Trevin Giles.
Well, I don't know if it's fight IQ or just one trick pony.
So yeah, she
Armbar
even
from
said it. Yeah,
Armbar from
I'm
guard.
submission over position. She said that 100%.
I'm armbar from guard. if
And
it
I
doesn't
think
work.
all of her wins were submission, right?
Yeah, I don't
all
know,
9 of
I
them.
don't know what the fuck to do.
But Miranda Maverick's a fucking beast.
vicious.
She fucking is lethal on the
She's
feet.
vicious.
And I think Jenny Robinson's in for a fucking headache on Sunday morning.
Yeah, I think Miranda Maverick gets this done.
All right, Shane Young, that fight is off. They're
Shane
looking
Young?
for a replacement for
Are
Shane
they?
Young.
It's confirmed.
They're looking for a replacement for Shane Young. Shane Young's fully out. I don't know about the other guy, Malarkey. He probably will end up being, but
So, yeah, let's see. What is it? I
I
think Abu Azaitar is. No, he's not the one that
Power
they're
bar.
giving him the second chance, are they?
No, that's Omar.
Oh, okay.
The one who word on the street, those weren't fucking potatoes. Those were steroids. It's one
They
of the
were
fighters said-
potatoes.
Some
remember?
Well,
some fighters.
you
I
know
forget who it
what,
was. I saw it
bro?
on Twitter. I was scrolling through the timeline. Just so you guys know, if you're arguing with somebody on Twitter, most likely it's me. You can tell by the arrogance. But yeah,
It's okay, dude. We don't ask what's in your sister's purse.
hey, right.
That was his response.
Right.
He's like, I don't ask what's in your
Oh yeah,
sister's
I was
purse.
reading that. He's like,
He may be related. They look
my
alike.
response
Yeah.
is a non-response. And then, like, get the fuck out of here
Yeah.
with that bullshit.
Again, early prelims. I want to dig into this a little bit more.
I don't
I'll
wanna lie to
Probably
you.
lean Azatar in this one, but
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to.
I'm guessing they want to fight. They want Azatar to win this fight.
We're not ashamed to say it.
Mark is the
There's a
favorite
lot of fighters.
at -125.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to look and dig in this tape. Again, I'm not making no
Power
picks here today,
bar.
but
Power
again,
bars are gross, man. I hate those ones.
yo, those are fucking terrible,
Fucking
man.
chalk.
man. Yeah,
Why would you
Quest
name yourself Power Bar?
Quest bar fucking blew them out the water.
Why not at least Quest?
And
Bar?
every
At
other
least you ought to
bar.
Quest to the belt.
Yeah. They're in Canada, man. They got a whole different thing. They probably like that shit.
Fuck.
They put gravy on fries.
Canadians.
Oh, dude, poutine is the shit, man.
I love poutang.
All right, well that wraps up
Potato.
this card. We're gonna have we're gonna do a little fight companion on it, and
Busy
probably
weekend this weekend.
It's gonna be a busy
Yeah.
day. So early on, before these prelims start, me and Tony, it's a pay-per-view, so we're gonna play out the pay-per-view card, and it's usually pretty accurate to how the fights turned out in the fight. So we'll be on Twitch at twitchtv.intheguard. Live streaming, we're gonna do the fights, everything on the main cards, the main event. We got Woodley and Luque. Who else is on that main card? I'm forgetting off the top of my head. But obviously it's Stipe and Francis. So everything that goes on in that main card, we're gonna go ahead and play that out, and then we'll start the prelims. We'll be tweeting along, and then for the main card, we'll be doing a fight companion live streaming.
Yeah.
followed by a live podcast, right?
Yeah.
Straight behind.
Yeah.
We'll go right
So be on there
into it.
answering questions for you. You can talk shit to me for all the shit I talk during the car when I'm tweeting and all that stuff. So we will be doing it all next Saturday. It's gonna be a long day. Having some fun with us. Live streaming from start to finish for the most part.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Show. All right. Well, let's move on. A couple of fight announcements that happened recently.
Drama, the best part of the show.
This is a fight. I don't know that I'm personally.
I'm interested in it.
I think I'm with Jody on this. I don't.
Usman Masvidal.
Here's my take on this. For one, for everybody whining that what has Masvidal done for a title shot again? What has anybody else at 170 done but duck each other?
Yeah, I don't think that's.
170, all they want to do, the top 5. The only one that's trying to fight people is Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy's calling out everybody. Right? He's the only one willing to fight. But everybody else is ducking everybody. As far as this fight, now, we don't know how much that 6 days notice was true or not, or how much. We know Masvidal was training somewhat. We knew he had to have an idea he might be a replacement. But this is a full camp. I don't think the fight's 100% going to play out the same way. I think Masvidal with a full camp. He's been in there with Usman. He's felt the grappling. He knows how he's going to be a little bit more aware of it. There's still there, and then on the feet, there's no comparison. There's no control on the feet. I know Usman looks sharp with that jab against Burns, but he's in the Burns
Burns
not
is
Masvidal.
not a striker.
Right.
Like, he's got some decent striking because people think about him taking him down. So of course that's going to make your striking look better.
And
right?
let's
When
be
Brock
real.
Conner.
In the first fight, it wasn't takedowns. It was press against the cage. There wasn't tons and tons of takedowns and top pressure on the mat. Most of it was toe stomps on the cage. That's where the whole meme and joke came from. So it wasn't like he was taking fucking Masvidal down left and right. He was just controlling him with the grappling.
Yeah.
Most of the fight, there was takedowns, but it wasn't like, it was Khabibin or Mirab just slamming people to take him down left and right. So, again, he's as good as anybody to get that title shot, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that's the thing that's like an argument. I just don't see how Masvidal wins the fight.
Well, I see how he does. He catches him and fucking
Well,
knocks him
okay,
out
so I
fucking
see
cold.
how he wins the fight. I don't think he.
I think he
wins the
could
fight.
win a decision though too, because he's busy enough. Like
Yeah.
if he fights the takedowns, if he gets busy with his hands and doesn't finish them, but he's more active striker on the feet. There's gonna be no comparison. So if that fight does stay up for 3 rounds out of the 5, he'll win the fight.
I think Usman's going to finish him arm triangle or something along those lines.
I think I'm the smart money. I'm thinking Usman by decision, but I just think there's gonna be a completely
I
different
think
fight
Usman
than we saw.
continues to tell us to fucking get with it.
Yeah, I definitely think Usman ends up taking him, but.
Well,
What about the big-
Usman's a huge favorite at -400, and Masvidal's +3.
I'm liking George that number.
I like that value.
But let's also the big story behind this thing. Fans are gonna be back in the fucking arena, jam packed, full. It's gonna be crazy.
Florida.
Somewhat of a home game for Masvidal, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
guess.
Fighting out of Miami.
I mean, so like, who knows how that works out? There's little intangibles there. I know it's not like Usman's never fought in front of a crowd, but some people show up better for crowds.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I mean, there's a lot of belts on this one too.
Yeah, the triple title.
Shevchenko, Andrade. Shevchenko is obviously the favorite at
favorite.
-375. Andrade
That's not that big of a favorite,
285.
though. That's not as big as it's been. I think Andrade has the best shot to dethrone
To date, correct.
to date Shevchenko, and I don't think anybody else in that division has a shot to beat her at all. And I called we didn't put it. We had our predictions for 2021 that Valentina is going to fall, and I think this is the only fight she's going to fucking have this year. So I'm going to go with Andrade in this fight.
+285.
And I think she's going to pick her up and slam her around. And I think Valentina's going to not expect the power that Andrade has because she's so small.
Nah, if Rose Namajunas can fucking outpoint Andrade,
But that was a close fight.
I think Bullet is gonna put style points up on.
I don't think Bullet has ever felt somebody as strong as Andrade.
is a short, boxy.
She knocked out
female
Chukagian with a
Paulo
body.
Costa. Chukagian.
What a body punch! What a body
She
punch!
ain't
She
doing
ended
that
it.
to Shevchenko, man.
I don't know why not.
Okay, Chukagian. Shevchenko is fucking chiseled, hard fighter her whole life. Chukagian ain't that.
Listen,
Chukagian's like, oh, I like
this.
the idea.
I don't
of being
care
an
how
MMA
chiseled you are.
fighter.
Look, I don't care how chiseled you are. This is soft.
Dude, she's fought how many
This
Muay
is
Thai
always
fights?
soft.
She's been
There's
kicked in the
nothing here.
ribs.
That's
I'm
why they
telling
tell you to put air when you're lifting weights. As a trainer, put air into your midsection to fill it out because it's soft there. So even if she's got abs, if you hit a fucking liver punch, you're going down.
I just think Shevchenko.
Anybody in the world, if you get shot with a straight shot in the liver, ask anybody who fights, boxes, anything, you are going. Your body shuts
The
off,
pain is excruciating.
and your body just shuts off.
Right.
And Andrade is small. She's short. She's stocky. She's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird to find sparring partners to mimic her movements. And again, am I gonna lock her? I mean, I'm gonna pick her because again, I think she has a real shot for sure. And I think if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be this. It's not gonna be somebody that she's a similar size to her, somebody that's gonna try to, kickbox with her for sure. I think Andrade is gonna pick her up and slam her.
Well, you got to make it a fight. You got to make it a brawl.
And she's gonna get in there.
But I think Shevchenko is gonna head kick her.
I think she's gonna.
Into
We've
fucking
seen
the
we've seen that Valentina does have some holes in the grappling game against Maya. So if Andrade gets a fucking hold of her, she might be able to wrestle her down to the fucking ground and wear her
Maya's
out.
a much bigger girl than Andrade.
But I think
Andrade is stronger.
is stronger than her.
True physicality though. Like
I think
size.
I think Andrade is more physical than Maya. Maya's more technical and sharp, but physicality.
Sometimes I feel like actual like
she
true
won.
size,
She won the
like,
title with a head slam, power slam, like a slam with somebody had her in a fucking Kimura
Rose.
grip. Yeah, when Rose had her, she won it with a slam. That's as physical as it gets. That's Rampage shit.
Well,
Again, it's very easy to say Valentina Shevchenko is going to win this fight, but I think
it's much harder to make an argument.
if
Andrade,
Valentina
for sure.
loses, if Valentina wins this fight, she's never going to lose. That's my bold prediction right now. She's never going to lose that title. Andrade is the one that's going to beat her if she's going to do it.
She's going to win. There's nobody that's going to. Amanda Nunes will only be her blip.
She already two blips.
Yeah.
double blip. And then another title fight.
Doug Rose.
Whaley
Doug Rose.
I think both ladies are losing their straps
Doug Rose.
on that Saturday night because I think Doug Rose.
That's my girl, man.
My point is, I think that Whaley Zhang and Joanna Jędrzejczyk are the same fighter. We saw it when they fought each other to that brawl that should have been a draw when that split decision fight. They do the same thing, similar style, power, technique, everything's very close to each other. And fucking Rose owned Joanna. We thought it was a fluke at first, and she came back and did it again. Yeah. So I think that Rose is going to end up winning this fight.
I think Rose wins
She's
this fight.
underdog.
Outside of some kind of like crazy Andrade head slam knockout, I think Rose should win this fight.
And we can even argue that Zhang shouldn't have that title anymore.
Rose is so good everywhere.
Zhang caught Andrade, right? And she arguably lost that fight with Joanna. Yeah. So should she even be the champion? Like, we got to push real quick. They wanted that UFC China headliner. She was there for that, and she won that fight. She did knock out Andrade. It happened.
Not calling a conspiracy,
but
we gotta promote the UFC.
But anytime a flash
Shanghai
knockout,
Institute.
is not convincing yourself as a champion. Then you're only we've seen Zhang struggle with Tesha Torres. We've seen it happen. Now I'm not saying that she's terrible or that, but she's not indestructible, this untouchable champion like say Valentina or Nunes is. She's not on that level yet. And again, Rose is a former champion who again manhandled Joanna, who fights a lot like Whaley Zhang. She's the closest thing to it. So I think Thug Rose takes over. We hear DC yelling Thug Rose, Thug Rose, the best call in MMA.
I'm all on Nama Yunus.
And we're all together on that one.
All right, let's move on. I don't think we'll really break down this card as we get closer to it.
Yeah, me too.
What else do we got here?
I love it. This is Thug. It doesn't sound right when you just say Thug. You gotta say Thug Rose.
Thug Rose.
Pat Barry's gonna be happy that night.
The announcement of Chandler.
I'm so happy about this.
I'm surprised Mike didn't quit MMA because of this.
Here we go.
No, I'm happy about this because I think Michael Chandler is going to end Charles Oliveira, and I don't have to watch him fight again. There's nowhere in this fight that Oliveira beats Michael Chandler.
Yeah, I don't see Oliveira beating Chandler.
Like, he's going to try to snatch up a submission, and Michael Chandler's going to fucking pick him up and rampage him to do a power bomb slam or something like that. He's going to try to grab his neck, but what neck? Michael Chandler's going to beat the shit out of Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, he's gonna do him like he did Dan Hooker.
And
He's gonna knock him out.
The only thing that I hate about this, all the shit I talk about Bellator, and Michael Chandler's gonna walk away with this title.
Well, it's a perfect storm.
Right. He's right place, right time.
Yeah.
Right place, right time.
And I'm sure there was talk about this shit in these contract dealings.
Well, he went right.
How many fights? How many licks does it take to get the center of the lollipop? How many fights is it gonna take for me to get to that title belt?
And honestly,
One, two?
the reason he's fighting for this fight is because Poirier said, "Fuck that shit, I want my money."
Yeah, he wants money.
Like that's why Michael Chandler's fighting
he
for
wants
this fight.
His girl wearing red
it's I love me some Justin Gaethje. We weren't on the air yet for the Gaethje fucking Khabib fight. That would have been fun, but Gaethje, it's hard to sell. It's hard to sell a guy who lost. right, to get a title shot again. It's hard to sell that, and I get that. And trust me, I love Justin Gaethje, one of my favorite fighters in MMA. But that's why he kind of got skipped over a little bit. I get it. I would love to. I'm kind of bummed that we didn't get the Chandler Gaethje fight because I think that would have been fireworks. That would have been probably whatever card it's on, the best fight on the card.
Yeah, I mean, who does Gaethje even get now? Makachev?
I think RDA.
But Makachev and RDA, they're talking about that.
Yeah, but if you go by the standings, if you go by the rankings, RDA is the only guy in that top 5 that doesn't have a dance partner right now. And him and Gaethje are the only two that don't have it. Makachev's outside of that. He's not in that party yet. He's trying to get himself in that door. But if you're, who else would you have to fight? Dan Hooker? That's a fight that can happen too.
Both off losses.
Right, but Gaethje's up high. And does the loss Khabib really count as a loss? I was almost at a point where a Khabib loss doesn't count as a loss.
Honestly, how could you not want to see a Gaethje Hooker fight? I would love it. I think it'd be a great fight.
I think that's the end of Dan Hooker's career.
I think Gaethje knocks him out.
That's the end of Dan Hooker. I think we saw a Gaethje Hooker fight, and it was Gaethje and fucking Chandler are the same person.
Yeah. Well, and also, but Gaethje and Hooker, those motherfuckers both like to fight. Like they just like to take punishment.
But we saw what happened when
Gaethje can take more than Hooker can.
We saw what happened when Gaethje and Hooker fought, when Chandler and Hooker fought. That's what probably would happen again. And I'm starting to think that Dan Hooker is this guy that is fun to watch, a good fighter, but he's not in that top level.
Well, he's got defensive holes, and he likes to get into firefights.
Yeah,
he's a fun guy to watch. Like I love to watch.
No, I like him as a guy. He's really fucking.
He's a fun guy. Too. Yeah, like.
I think he's that step below.
I think he's top 10.
Maybe.
I think he's top 10 in that division.
Maybe. I mean, obviously he is, but he's losing a lot. You could argue he lost that Felder fight.
The best of the best.
You could argue he lost that Felder fight. Yeah. Like when's his last? That's his last win. And
no ill will towards Felder.
Yeah, but I'm saying his last win was a questionable one.
Yeah.
Who has he beat?
What's Paul Felder doing other than commentating? You want to come fight, Paul?
Well, he's borderline retired.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody called him out. He's like, I don't want none of that smoke. Who was it? Was it Dawson? No,
Dawson said he wasn't following him on Instagram. He
said, because I got caught Paul Felder.
Yeah, he said follow me on Instagram.
And then Paul Felder said, I don't want none of that smoke. So I guess Paul Felder's not trying to fight too much anymore.
Follow you right now.
I love Paul Felder fights, but yeah, I really think Chandler's gonna fucking put Oliveira to sleep and that myth that he's that good.
Cool. Let's get. I mean, it looks like a pretty good fight card. That's Ferguson, Hermanson, Barboza.
Oh, yeah, Shabazian, the last man that Brunson shot down. What is that? 262. Again, we'll get into that more when it comes around.
I was interested that they booked that fight.
Oh yeah, it's 262.
Hermanson was just at the top. Creme de la creme.
Well, Shabazian only has one loss.
Yeah, but he's a prospect.
But he was
against Hermanson.
I think they're trying to get Hermanson to get out of there.
Then we got another fight announcement. Dillashaw. Corey Sandhagen.
I'm all on the Sandman, man.
Sandman's one of my favorite fighters.
Sandhagen gets it done.
Working right now.
I think Dillashaw's.
Man, I don't know. We don't know that.
It's a tough.
You don't know.
We don't. That's what makes it so hard. Like we don't.
TJ's loss to Cejudo was after he looked like a fucking skeleton and should never cut that weight to 125. Right? He looked like he was dying.
It's not like Cejudo didn't have experience at bantamweight either. So
right. So he was out of his element. It's kind of like when is he going up to 205 or Holloway moving up to 155? When guys lose outside their weight class, it looks bad. You kind of forget how good they are in their own weight, right? Yeah. So we'll see about this. But TJ is one of the best bantamweights of all time. Is he still there or not?
Dude,
I can't say he is or isn't.
Peppers, man.
But I think Corey Sandhagen should be the bantamweight champion by the end of the year. If he wins this fight, he should fight whoever gets that rematch, right? And try to maybe end the year with the bantamweight title of Corey Sandhagen.
I think Sandhagen beats Dillashaw, and you already know I'm going to say Jan beats Sterling. And I think you get Jan Sandhagen.
I'd rather see Sterling Sandhagen too, but could we rather that fight?
I think Jan has the belt at the end.
I don't. I think Jan's got his head fucked up from that loss.
All right, let's move on. We had Khabib issues his statement.
His false retirement.
And even Dana White confirms 100% officially retired. But Mike's got a theory here.
Here's what I'm saying. When has Dana White ever praised a leaving fighter? Ever. Anderson Silva, GSP, fucking BJ Penn, any one of these legends. When has he praised them as they left?
Yeah, those guys are old too.
Dana White is all about the UFC brand. It's UFC 260. It's not It's UFC says 260, then it's Stipe versus Francis. It's not Stipe versus Francis happening in the UFC Federation. No, it is UFC this, UFC that. Ultimate Fighting Championships left and right. It is about the brand. So the fact that he's bigging Khabib up right now, I believe this is for the super fight at a catchweight division. Khabib gave up the title because he doesn't care about being a champion anymore.
This is add to your speculation. They're gonna break in the 165-pound division with fucking GSP and Khabib.
That could happen. I just think it's gonna be at 165. GSP versus Khabib. Khabib retires 30-0 after beating him. And because I just wish that we could put fucking GSP in a fucking time machine and bring him back to like 2010. GSP against Khabib now, but that's not going to happen.
I mean, prime is a big thing, right? Like,
you have a 40-year-old man who hasn't fought in however many years versus a guy who's 29 and never lost. Like
wrestles bears.
Wrestles bears. He's still active too in the sport. Like all his family, his friends. He's at AKA all the time training. He's not really out of the sport. He's at every fucking UFC event still. Like this guy is still an active fighter for all intents and purposes.
What did he say recently? He said, when Dad said you wrestle bear, I said, Dad, bear tried to bite me. He said, okay, you bite back, no problem.
And here's when you know when Khabib really retires. When he pulls out of the USADA pool. Has he pulled out of the USADA testing pool?
No, but I think I was just listening to.
That's when you know he retires.
The guy who on Rogan, the guy who did the CrossFit,
Matt Frazier.
Yeah. He was saying that even when you retire, you still have to be in the pool for at least another 6 months to a year because people say they're going to retire,
right?
Juice up. And then come back, right? So he's still going to have to probably be tested for the next 6 months.
That's what I'm saying. Like when we find out he's removed from the USADA pool, then you can say, oh, maybe he's serious about this shit. But the fact that he's still in that pool, I think that GSP fight, and that's why he gave that title, because he's not fighting for titles anymore. He proved he's the best lightweight of all time or whatever. Move on from that. I want this legacy fight, and then I want to go on because that was a fight his dad wanted. His dad did want that fight.
He wanted him 30-0.
And he wanted GSP. Yeah. And I think that he could sell his mom on that. See, I think he really means that my mom shit. Like he wants his mom's blessing. I think he could sell his mom on getting that.
That motherfucker's true to his word.
Right. But the fact that he's meeting with Lorenzo Fertitta for what?
Hamburgers, man.
But and Big John McCarthy, shout out to fucking
hamburgers,
shout out to the Weighing In podcast. Big John and Josh Thompson are really close to this, right? Josh Thompson and fucking Khabib are like not best friend, but they train together. They during their AKA camp at all times. He knows Khabib left and right. He agrees with what I'm saying. Big John knows Dana and the Fertitta brothers like nothing, right? He helped build the UFC with them with the rules and reffing and all that stuff. So he knows how they work. And they both are really heavy in this camp. They're saying this is going to happen. This is for sure. So again, there are sources that are really close to this story that think this is going to happen.
You build up the return of Khabib, it's going to be massive.
Right. And then, like, that's might be the biggest pay-per-view of all time. Because GSP's name still holds. There might be some lapse fans. Like
even like if Conor can string some wins, if Conor strings wins, I'd love to see them.
Like, for instance, like all my brothers and cousins, right? They follow UFC from a distance, right? They know what's going on. Like, I kind of say that text right I told you on Saturday asking about fights. They know what stuff's going on. But they're kind of lapsed a little bit. They don't buy the pay-per-views. They don't watch like we watch for sure. Or none like that. But if they saw GSP was on a fucking card, they'd come back. They all know who Khabib is for sure. Right? They know he's one of the best of all time. So you get those fans back in the camp. That's going to be a $2 to $3 million pay-per-view buy. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Well, let's keep rolling with it. What else we got here? Whatever reason doesn't like.
Whoa, I didn't see this. Sean Brady had COVID prior to 259.
Oh, he wants Legion? Or Legion?
I'm all about Sean Brady. He is a fucking beast. And best tattoos. Best tattoos in MMA.
Sick tattoos, yeah.
I even talked to him about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
We already talked about Oliveira, Chandler. We can move on from that. My freaking iPad's being...
Here's what I'm worried about. I'm all for the crowds, right? I want the crowds to come back. But I don't want to lose no motherfucking fights.
Well, we don't want to lose that small octagon. Why can't they keep the small octagon?
That's a choice. Yeah. That's a choice for sure. But like, I do not. We're losing fights left and right.
Yeah, imagine if we purchase tickets and go to that shit and we fucking lose 3 fights, especially like a fucking co-main or something.
Right.
You know?
Like, what's going on with these fans? Like, I'm nervous about that. I'm really nervous about that for sure.
Well, Volkanovski is out with the
with the
With the
1-9.
funk.
He got the
He got
1-9.
the funk.
We can say
So
COVID.
David,
We don't have to
I've
worry about being
testified.
demonetized yet, so we can say COVID all we want.
Yeah, the COVID. Ortega fight. What do we have a replacement for that? yet?
No, that's going to be
No,
that's going to be
they're pushing it
delayed.
back.
That's going to be pushed back.
Right.
But what it does, like I said, Shane Young is already out from the card on Saturday, and Malarkey is probably going to be too. There's a picture with Shane Young, Malarkey, Volkanovski, Brad Riddell, all close to each other inside the UFC bubble. And that's why Riddell got pulled out from the Gillespie fight. That's why. So I think eventually Malarkey is going to get pulled out too. So maybe Malarkey partner fights old boy. And they do that.
Yeah.
We'll come worthy. We'll see.
All right. What else we got? We talked about Rose,
No juice.
and yeah, I guess we already kind of went through this. I think that's it, guys. I don't have anything else to pull up. Do we want to address that? Who passed out while weighing in?
Oh,
Stoliarenko?
Julia Stoliarenko, the Lithuanian Ronda Rousey, right?
Yeah.
Did
Who
you
I
guys
had
watch
picked.
her?
I did watch it. She passed out twice on the scale. I've well
She
documented.
passed up like even just coming to the first set of stairs.
Well, she sat down to get
yeah,
undressed.
she had to sit.
Sat down to get undressed, stand up on the scale, and just doing nothing, fainted back.
Right.
Then they kind of attended to her, make sure she was okay or whatever. She stood back on the scale and passed out a fucking gun. Now, we all know how I feel about weight cutting. We've talked about it a million times. I hate it. I think it's stupid. I think they should get rid of it. I don't know how the best way to do it. I think same-day weigh-ins is the way to do it. But apparently her excuse was that she's fine making a weigh-in, but she made weight too early and didn't eat all day. That's what she said. So then you didn't cut weight right? Well, you're lying then.
Yeah.
But so that was her excuse. She said she cut weight like around 9 a.m. or something like that.
Right.
And like the weigh-in was later in the day and she was just starving and hungry and fell asleep. Whatever it may be. But still, that just shows the problem with what these people. And plus, she was a last second replacement, wasn't she?
When you think about weight cuts, what is the highest advantage in weight one person would have? Because essentially they're all cutting from about the same amount of weight to get to that division, right? Maybe a 5-pound advantage.
No, here like
At the end of the day,
like Dustin Poirier, and Max Holloway both on Rogan came back to back talking about this. Like the only reason they do it is because everybody else does it.
Yeah.
So if Holloway would fight at middleweight, he's fighting 220, 230 pound people if he's going to fight the weight cutters. A guy like Poirier is going to fight like a
well, that's what I'm saying. But like everybody that's fighting at 145, like look at those Burgoses and Josh Emmett.
Yeah.
They're probably walking around the same as Max
Right.
Holloway, so they're all essentially the same weight. They're just putting all this extra
No,
fucking
I'm saying
shit on
they
their
all
body.
do it because everybody else does it.
Yeah.
There's always going to be somebody that
So
does
it's
it.
essentially like when this used to be used as an advantage, but everybody's doing it, so it's not really an advantage.
But if you don't do it, you'll be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But like, let's say that like
That's the
but
advantage of it.
everybody does it.
Yeah.
But there's still probably going to be some people that come out with a little bit of an advantage, right? Like obviously you can see in some fights where guys are fucking bigger.
Yeah.
Like, but what is the biggest advantage you're going to get? 5 to 10 pounds? That's what I'm asking. Like, there's not going to be one person who's going to fight their natural weight.
No. But what I'm saying is, if you don't cut weight, you're going to go against a bigger person who's going to have way more than 5-pound advantage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But everybody does it.
But
So it's
so
kind
I'm
of
saying,
like a stalemate.
no, I'm saying so. If you
But
don't
everybody
partake,
stop doing
Yeah.
that.
if
everybody stopped
everybody would
doing it.
have to stop doing it. But if you
Yeah.
chose to be the first one to stop, you'd be fucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
be
that
fucked.
I understand. But
So
I'm,
that- yeah.
But
So
I'm
that-
saying right now, you're essentially the weight cutting is just extra hell on their bodies when
it's
they're all doing
well.
it.
I think Rogan coins it's sanctioned cheating.
Yeah, but you would
That's
have,
kind of what it is. It's kind of sanctioned
yeah,
cheating.
You would have better fights if they just stopped it. I think you would have better fights because people
I mean,
would still
we
almost
don't
be
know.
fighting the same
I
guys.
can't say yes or no. It's hard to tell.
I think if you had same day weigh-ins, then I think people are really gonna get hurt, right? Because I think everybody's gonna still cut. You know, a lot of guys are still gonna cut, and they're gonna be weak as shit in that ring, and then a couple concussions are gonna lead to.
Or
some
how
serious
about
brain
we have
damage.
USADA testing these motherfuckers at Panera Breads all the time or whatever it may be. They got to weigh in every week.
That, or you can't cut more than 10 or 15 pounds or something.
Why
like
can't
that
they weigh in
for-
every week?
Yeah.
You know,
If they have to keep that weight every week. Look, losing weight's not the problem. It's like for those people who aren't educated, they're cutting all the water out of their body, right? They're starving themselves, they're dehydrating themselves to get a false weight, and then they plump back up after they go ahead and do that. I guess most fight fans know that, but if you don't, that's what they're doing. That's what people like cutting weight. Now, if a person were to lose 50 pounds naturally through exercise and diet and take time to do it like you normally would, that would be fine. But the reason that people are passing out is they are totally depleting their body and going to try to get a fake weight to go step on the scale and then plump back up when fight time happens. That's what I'm trying to get rid of. So if you had to weigh in every every maybe month or week, whatever it may be, you might eliminate that too. There's a bunch of ways to kind of mitigate this, but they don't want to do it. Yeah. I mean, I think California has a certain hydration test.
The different athletic commissions have different rules. So that's another problem, right? Like they all fucking treat it differently.
Right.
So it's not
hydration
standard.
test is a great idea though too.
It's not standard across the board.
That might be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
You have to be at a certain percentage hydration, and then there you go, because you can't be totally dehydrated up there. Right. Because even Julia Villa, who had a bad week, she posted a picture on Twitter saying, "If you think I walk around like this, you are nuts." Because she's all ripped and shredded up like that. Fighting is something, cutting weight is something that we all do. Yeah. It's okay when done right. Yeah, blah blah blah. But yeah, it is if you do it the right way. Yeah, you can totally
gain at least 10 or 15 pounds, 20 pounds.
Right, and let's be honest too. The majority of people do it right. Otherwise, everybody would be passing on the scale. Everybody would be dying. But someone's gonna fucking die. Somebody's gonna die doing this for sure. It came close. Max Holloway. Well, imagine if Max Holloway would have died that bad cut he had, where he looked like a skeleton on the scale. He pulled off
at 145 versus who was it, Mendez or Aldo? One of the two.
Somebody.
Mendez.
Yeah, something's gonna go really, really wrong up here, and then that's when they're gonna try. But they don't want to change it. I don't know why. Yeah, it's like the gloves. I poked again yesterday. I poked again yesterday. They want to change the fucking gloves.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to be doing the fight companion for next week's card. You guys are going to be on Twitch playing UFC 4. See how that maybe give us some insight to how the actual fight's going to go.
Yeah, and then all week, like Thursday, Friday, you'll have the Whiskey and Wagers. You'll have our DraftKings picks, all that stuff. I'm trying to get fancy with all the production on that stuff.
Yeah,
you guys
he's
know.
doing a pretty good job.
I'm working on it. Trying to figure it out. I'm a big dumb fucking ape on an iPad trying to figure this shit out. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. All right, thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you on Saturday.
Fuck the judges.